Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh my God, Chris, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's not. It's not. It's nothing. It's not
dude.
me.
What I
Wow.
literally just checked the corner as I was talking about that. What I was gonna say is definitely smart enough to realize that the top 6 picks were all defense. Since then, it's been almost all offense.
Yeah. Well, we've just been talking to each other. I kind of just noticed something off, and then you noticed it just as I noticed. It's weird.
So the Lions trade up to number 12.
Wait, did he just
to get
mispronounce his
Williams.
name?
Yeah, he did.
What did he say? Jameson.
He said Jameson Williams. Roger Goodell always fucks up at least 1 point in the first round.
Oh, Jesus.
This show is not gone the way that I wanted it to. It started off super strong, as we see the third wide receiver in a row taken. Garrett Wilson, and then his teammate in OSU, Chris Olave, and now we see Jameson Williams. 3 wide receivers in a row. Houston is on the clock now. Oh, man. Number 13th pick. And it is 9:30 already.
Yeah, we're not going to get to the Patriots, I'll tell you that.
No, we're not. I'll probably stay to like the number 16 pick, I'm thinking.
It's fair.
The Patriots at number 21. It depends. I want to see how this board goes. I'm very interested to see where Kyle Hamilton goes. He's dropping down the board right now, and whoever takes him is going to get a steal.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
Kyle Hamilton. Question I really have, though, is, this is obviously non-related to Kyle Hamilton, but yesterday we did see Kyler Murray get his 5th-year extension on his rookie contract. I wonder if it silences, some of the drama we were getting towards the end of this year, going into the offseason.
I think so. I think Kyler Murray is upset with Cliff Kingsbury. We heard some chatter about it last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we obviously knew that he wasn't a huge fan going there in the first place because he had the option to go play baseball. I think Kyler Murray is an exceptional talent. I think he's going to be really good. He's the next Russell Wilson with probably better legs.
Yeah.
But at this point, is he going to be too much? Is he worth more drama? Or is he more drama than he's worth? I can't answer that. They started off super strong last year, 8-0, and then they fizzled out at the end of the season. I think that, the DeAndre Hopkins injury really hurt them too. I think as long as he's healthy, the Cardinals are the second best team, only to the Rams in that division.
Yeah.
But
unless you're forgetting the Niners.
I think the Niners have a bad year with Trey Lance, man. I think that they're going to start him all year. I think that Jimmy G is in a really weird spot that the 49ers feel obligated to start Trey Lance for the year because they traded 3 first-rounders for him. You got to give him a chance at some point.
Yeah.
It's not Jordan Love where the Packers just took him at number 26 but didn't trade up for him.
Yeah.
Like the 49ers traded 3 first-round picks to get this guy. You got to start him.
You gotta. But it's weird because it's like this guy was the number 3 pick last year, and then there was rumor this offseason that they were not really confident in him leading the charge, which really is like, oh, that's not something you want to hear about your top 3 overall pick. So, Duffy just texted me back. I texted him earlier going, you dummy, you ended the broadcast. And he goes, no way, are you serious?
By the way, we've seen our 3rd trade in a row now as the Philadelphia Eagles trade up from the 15th pick to the number 13th pick with the Houston Texans.
Oh, there he is.
I am so sorry for ending the podcast.
Yeah, just don't do it again.
I did not know I did that. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good because I restarted the
What'd you
show
say?
right away, and then it took me like a good 30 minutes to realize we weren't live. We were just talking in the chat.
I am so sorry, dude. I'm sorry,
You're
dude.
fine, dude. You're fine.
It's
I
whatever.
feel bad, dude. Just like, I'm a streamer type of guy, dude. I know what it's like, so.
Why don't you stay here and talk about the draft with us right now?
What'd you say?
Why don't you talk with us about the draft?
Dude, so my roommate, Bowen, is an Eagles fan, and he wanted Jameson Williams right there. And they missed him. They missed him, bro.
We were talking about it before, and we talked about it with the Saints because I think the Saints pick, getting Chris Olave, was pretty big because
I'm with
Google Sheets
I'm
presentation.
with Chet and my boy.
What the fuck is that right
I'm with Chet and my boy Zach.
now? Google Sheets
Wait, get it right here. Get it right here, bro.
Shut the fuck up!
Yo, yo,
I want
calm
Eagles fans'
down.
opinion on this James Williams pick, bro. What are your thoughts?
I'm infuriated. We
You pissed?
traded up, dude. I feel like the year that we missed Ha Clinton Dix and we got him snubbed right under our nose from the Packers. It's the exact same thing. We traded up to number 13 to get Jameson Williams, expecting the Lions to draft a quarterback, and they just drafted Jameson Williams. They're going with Jared Goff. That guy sucks.
Hey, he needs a weapon. He got the weapon.
Jared Goff is poverty.
Oh, yeah.
They had all the quarterbacks in the draft to choose from, and they chose the wide receiver who tore his ACL, and they're going with Jared Goff. Okay. I guess I can't be mad. I guess we're just gonna see what happens now. We're just gonna go see what happens.
Yeah, you'll just have to wait and see. It is what it
We'll
is.
see what
I
happens,
guess
right?
we're gonna see what happens.
The audio, we can barely hear you guys. The audio sucks on my phone for some
We're
reason.
We're just gonna see what happens.
Put in some AirPods, bro.
The Lions
Captain
made a-
Morgan's where it's at, baby. It's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, put in some AirPods.
Huh?
Put in your AirPods.
Is it my AirPods, dude? I don't have AirPods.
Oh, you're a loser.
I only have fucking wired earbuds, bro. You know me. I'm a cheap end.
Then put those in so you can hear us.
Listen, I can't hear you. I'll come back when the Pats pick, okay? Pats pick, I'll be back, okay?
Yeah, we probably won't be here by then, but we'll see ya.
I'll see you guys in a sec.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna happen in 1 second.
Dude, it is crazy, though. That 4 of the last 5 picks are all wide receivers. We're starting to see wide receivers run off the board. And now that we see the Eagles trade up, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another wide receiver.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Teams looking
surprised.
for that receiver are absolutely gunning for him. And the Eagles, they've taken 2 wide receivers in the first round in the last 2 years, right? They
The
took
Eagles?
Jalen Reagor 2 years ago, and they took Devontae Smith last year.
I mean, dude, Devontae Smith, like, I love that dude. I think he's gonna be great these next few years. But missing out on Jameson Williams, that is a tough one. That's a tough pill to swallow for them because I mean they haven't, once again, no true wideout since they had what's his face. Oh, I'm really drawing a blank right now. He was on the Bears. He was with Brandon Marshall. You know what I'm talking about?
The Eagles?
Yeah, the Eagles. Who's that wideout? Might still be there for all I know.
Dude,
He-
the best
played-
wide receiver, I'm thinking, who's the last good Eagles wide receiver? Like, I'm thinking Terrell Owens. Like, have they had a really great wide receiver since T.O.? My
hold
buddy
on.
who's an Eagles fan would be killing me right now. He'd be so pissed because I'm sure.
Who was that wide receiver they signed in free agency a few years ago from the Bears? He won a Super Bowl with them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm drawing the biggest blank of my life.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that this guy was, like, really good.
But he's still
now that
good.
now that I'm looking at it, and you're thinking of Alshon Jeffrey, by the way.
Yes, there it is. Thank you.
I wouldn't say that he was their number 1 option, but I wouldn't say that he was really great. But the one I was thinking of is Deshaun Jackson. I would say that's really great.
Yep,
Eagles
yep.
wide receiver.
And it sucks because now he's
I
not
think
like
Devontae
that
Smith
anymore.
Is the next one, though. I really do. Devontae Smith is as good of a deep threat as he is slot. You know, if he can just gain 15 pounds, he's going to be really good.
Dude, when I played Madden the year Devontae Smith was in the draft, I drafted him every single time because I knew his development trait was ridiculous. Like, he
Yep.
had really good development.
All right, the pick is in. I think it's going to be a defensive back here. I think they either go for the safety, Kyle Hamilton, which I think is the pick, or the cornerback out of Clemson, Andrew Booth Jr., because the Eagles need secondary help.
They really do. They really do. I mean, that defensive secondary has just been pitiful for them for a very long time. I want to look at the team stats, but let's hear the pick.
So before the pick is made, they're giving out another shout out to a charity that it looks like coming from a Georgia high school. So we do have another 2 minutes.
So, in terms of yards allowed, Eagles, through the air, they were middle of the pack. They did allow over 3,700 passing yards. But let's see. Okay, that's total yards, actually, defensively. Passing. Let's see. Rushing.
I don't look at team stats as much. I know that's probably a bad look, but I always look at their actual depth chart. So right now in the secondary, they have Darius Slay, who's a top 10 corner in the league. But besides that, they have Avonte Maddox at slot corner. They have Kayvon Wallace and Anthony Harris at safety.
Oh my God,
And
it's
the pick
nobody.
Is in, the pick is in. The Eagles draft defensive tackle Jordan Davis out of Georgia. So another Georgia defender going. I'll tell you what, this is not a terrible pick for me.
No,
Because they needed defensive help. I would have rathered a secondary player, but Jordan Davis will be the next Fletcher Cox in this defense. And I think that is a really great
exactly.
6'6", 340 pounds, had a really good combine. A bit of a reach. I think that the Eagles still have the number
15.
18. Well, I don't have it up here updated yet, but they traded the 15th pick to get to 13 with Houston.
Okay.
But they still have the 18th pick, and I think they could have got Davis at that point. But again, they had a guy that they liked, and they went out and got it. So can't be mad.
Yeah, I think it's solid. Like you said, Fletcher Cox was easily one of the scariest defensive tackles to play in the NFL these last few years. And for them to go out and get a young buck who can really step up and overtake that role at some point, I'll take it. I'll take it if I'm a Philly fan. I mean, this is a defensive line that needs defensive linemen. However, I mean, who knows? Maybe a secondary pick is coming. And like you said, Kyle Hamilton's still on the board. There could be a chance for them to take him unless Baltimore gets a little slick here.
Baltimore was the team that was mock draft Jordan Davis for the last 3 months. Baltimore needs a defensive tackle, and Jordan Davis was clearly the number one. So the number 2 defensive lineman is Devontae Wyatt, also out of Georgia. Wouldn't be surprised to see them go here. The pick is already in for Baltimore, so they already have selected someone. They didn't even wait for the timer to go down, which means that they were waiting on a guy that is still on the board.
Oh, yeah. They're probably really excited to get this kid. That's probably why.
So, maybe they're looking at one of those 2 secondary players, Hamilton or Booth Jr., and they can't believe they slid all the way down here. Or maybe they were sticking with their guy that they liked the whole time. There's not a whole lot of offensive players that are still up there. This is a very defensive-heavy first-round draft class. But Jermaine Johnson's still there in an edge, and after losing Matt Judon last year, they need an edge rusher. George Karlaftis is more of a defensive edge.
Love Matt Judon. That dude is easily one of my favorite guys on the Patriots right now.
One of the best free agency signings of all last year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know who the Ravens could really have their eye on as of right now. I mean, they could use a defensive rusher, like you said, but we'll see. They were very hurt last season. They're a team, honestly, that I almost forgot about that is definitely going to be in the equation next season. Mm-hmm. We just saw a lot of injuries riddle them from the running back core, which is what really
preseason. They lost their top 2 running backs, and they lost Marcus Peters in the first game of preseason. So they're going to get them back. Lamar Jackson missed a couple games last year. Even though I can't remember the backup quarterback, but he came in and nothing.
Tyler Huntley,
thank you. Jordan Davis going this early is a bit surprising. He slid on a lot of people's draft boards late after the combine. It's unanimous. People love this pick, though. Jordan Davis, a huge defensive tackle that wowed at the combine, so he's a physical freak. And the defensive center for the best defense we've seen in college in a long time in Georgia. Not a bad pick. Only the second Georgia player to go so far after the number 1 pick, Trayvon Walker, went. We're going to see a couple more Georgia players go. We're going to see Nakobe Dean, the linebacker, go pretty soon. And who's the other one that is projected in the first round? I can't remember. Lewis Seen, the safety, also likely to go in the first round, if not the early second round.
Yeah, I'll probably get out of here in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not going to stay too much later. It's already 10 o'clock.
Yeah, just about.
Pick at 21. So we're 7 picks away. That's probably going to happen at 11.
I never
actually.
even got to ask you this. Where do you work? Because do you work at a restaurant?
Yeah, my other job is a cook at a restaurant in Portsmouth and Tiverton called Locals. Locals
Okay.
Kitchen.
Do you know a restaurant in Warwick called Treehouse Tavern?
I've heard of it. I haven't been there. I actually think I might have gone there one time from URI, but I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I that's my side
Oh,
job
yeah?
right now. I'm a food runner there at the moment.
Oh shit! How is it?
it-
It's been fucking crazy coming up this summer, huh?
I mean, I don't know yet because the vibe really has been slow for the most part. It's really only picked up on weekends, and I've only had like one night where it was like, whoa. The rest, it's been like, yeah, this is manageable, Like the board will fill up with tickets, but it's nothing you can't manage. It's not difficult. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they told us like before COVID, they would like reach 200 to 400 people in one night, but like we're only getting max at dinner time right now, like 150 if we're lucky.
So we don't do by people; we do by tickets.
Yeah.
Our normal ticket amount of people per table is like 3 to 4, and we do like 200 ticket Saturdays.
That's awesome.
Real quick, the pick is in, the number 14 pick for the Baltimore Ravens. They take safety Kyle Hamilton finally.
There you go.
So the Ravens really quick to put their pick in, and it was for the biggest slide of the draft. The Ravens get a huge steal here. Kyle Hamilton at number 14, the best safety we've seen come out of the draft in years. Probably since Jamal Adams, which was, I think, 2016.
Yeah. And I mean, for the Ravens, hey, this is just a reason why they're going to be in the conversation next season. Excuse me, in terms of the top 3 seeds in the AFC. I mean, they go out, they already have a very solid secondary. They just made it even stronger. And this team's coming off injuries. And I'm sure after the disappointing end to last season, finishing at 8-8, where at one point they were sitting at 8-3, losing their last 5 games, this team's going to be hungry right out of the get-go. And Kyle Hamilton's going to be a big push towards the production they're going to see this season.
Next up on the clock is the Houston Texans, and their pick is already in as well.
Wow.
So we're starting to see teams that are going with their gut, and they're going with their guy. This is like 4 picks in a row that the team hasn't waited until 0's on the clock. Kyle Hamilton going at number 14, though, real quick. This is a huge get for the Ravens, who already have a solid defense and a young defense. So the Ravens now, their secondary is Marcus Peters, who's going to come back healthy, Marlon Humphrey, who is one of the most underrated defenders in the entire league, 26 years old, and he is, I would say, the second best slot receiver in the league, only behind Jair Alexander on the Packers. Kenny Moore on the Colts is up there too, but I don't want to say that because it's bias. But they just go out and get Marcus Williams, the best safety in free agency out of New Orleans, and now they're pairing him with Kyle Hamilton. We're talking about one of the, if not the best secondaries for next year. They have pass coverage from Marcus Williams and Marlon Humphrey, and Marcus Peters obviously is a great cornerback for pass coverage, but Peters is one of the best run-stopping cornerbacks in the league that never gets talked about. And you add Kyle Hamilton to that, this is a complete secondary in a division, by the way, that is not exceptionally strong on passing anyway. Like Deshaun Watson's going to help out the Browns passing game. But the Bengals are the best passing team in the division by far. And you don't really have much to contend with the Steelers and the Browns. So I think that the Ravens are going to shut down passing offenses this year, and I think that's going to make their defense so strong. This is a great freaking pick by the Ravens right now. I'm super excited for them.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an exciting season for them, and I'm sure the fans in Baltimore are definitely extremely excited to see this team get going once we actually get to the season itself. But, I mean, man, the Ravens are a team that I have always disliked for the longest amount of times, and it sucks to see them being, getting the good picks they need and the players they need, but hey, I'll give it to them. They're going to be a good team, as always.
For sure. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and then after that, I'm going to run out and have a cigarette. But actually, the Texans pick is already in, so I'm going to wait until they select because it looks like... Oh, actually, the pick is coming up right now, so I am going to take a commercial after this. But with the number 15 pick, the Houston Texans are going to select... Kenyon Green, offensive lineman from Texas A&M. So, what is this? The fourth offensive lineman going off the board. The Texans, with their first pick, got cornerback Derek Stingley, and now they go after offensive line. This guy, Kenyon Green, like Ikem Ekwonu, we saw go at number 5, is such a versatile player. He can play all 5 positions on the O-line, and the Texans need help everywhere, but they certainly need offensive line help besides from their right tackle, Dwayne Brown.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Dwayne Brown's on the Seahawks now.
Yeah, and I mean, they haven't seen a guy like Dwayne Brown in a very long time. And when he was in Houston, Dwayne Brown...
Larry
he was,
Tunsil, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, Dwayne Brown, top 5 tackle a few years ago. That was easily one of the best offensive tackles in the National Football League. So for them to go out and get themselves a brand new guard to start all over again, it's exactly where you need to be.
All right. So
yeah.
For me,
if you're gonna
19 pick.
If you're gonna take a break or whatever, I'll probably just call it.
All right. Well, it's the number 15 pick. I think maybe I should just stay for the 16th pick, get halfway through the first round, and then call it quits because, let's be honest, this show isn't doing the numbers that I thought it might, and we were already screwing up with the timing.
It's okay.
And the Commanders pick is already in. The number 16 pick is already
beautiful.
In, so it's going to only be like 5 more minutes. So, yeah, I'm good with calling after this.
Okay. That's fine.
This has been an interesting first round, though.
Yeah.
We have seen Kyle Hamilton obviously just got picked, but that was a huge drop. Number 4 prospect going to number 14. We've seen not a whole lot of edge rushers taken. We haven't seen an edge rusher taken since the number 5 pick with Kayvon Thibodeau, and that's usually the biggest position off the board every year. We saw the run of wide receivers. Detroit obviously taking Philly's pick, and Duffy's buddy getting so pissed about it. That was fun. We haven't seen a quarterback taken yet either, so who knows when the first quarterback will get taken. I do think that there will be one in the first round, maybe even 2 at the end of the first round. But like you said, there's no quarterback really worthy of a first-round pick.
No.
But I want to say the last time a quarterback was taken, the first quarterback was taken after the 20th pick was like 2002. Or maybe even earlier. It's been a long time, which goes to show you how bad this quarterback draft class was.
Absolutely. It truly is. And, I mean, like you said, you kept calling it a couple times, and, of course, we weren't live for those moments, but you're like, hey, these teams should probably pick a quarterback, and I'm like, please, God, do not do that to yourself. Like, this is not the time to pick a quarterback. Honestly, this whole first round, if you're a team that picks a quarterback, I'm just going to be like, you're the stupidest person I've ever seen in my life. Like, please don't do that.
Oh, okay, so we have another trade, not for a pick, but
Ooh.
You were just talking about Kyler Murray earlier. The Cardinals go out and trade a 3rd round pick. Oh, excuse me. The Cardinals go out and trade the number 23 pick.
Yep.
To the Ravens for wide receiver Marquise Brown and a 3rd round pick.
Wow. That is crazy right there. No way.
That's an interesting pick. The Cardinals just gave up a 1st rounder for a wide receiver and a 3rd rounder. And listen, Marquise Brown is good, but he's not that good. I think the Ravens just made out.
Yeah.
After getting Kyle Hamilton, they now have another pick in the 1st round, and they could go get a wide receiver because there's still 2 or 3 that are good enough to be in the 1st round.
And they already drafted a wide receiver last year, if I'm not mistaken.
The Ravens? Yeah, they drafted Rashad Bateman last year.
Exactly. You go and get yourself 2 young guys now, and honestly, dude, I don't care what people say about Marquise Brown. He is a good receiver. But like, if anything,
He's in the wrong system.
he is. And I think, honestly, Arizona's perfect because he's a vertical receiver. He's not designed to basically be in the offense he's in because it's the Lamar Jackson show. That's all it is over there. So for him to go out and go to Arizona even though it's the Kyler Murray show out there, Kyler Murray drops dimes, I'm telling you. So he'll drop dimes to him and his boy DeAndre Hopkins. And I just like the system that he's going to end up in.
Yeah, I think Marquise Brown. Listen, the Cardinals have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Andy Isabella, and they have A.J. Green, who A.J. Green is going to be like a fourth option. So throwing Marquise Brown in there, having a burner to really fill that Christian Kirk role, or the role that Andy Isabella was hopefully going to cover, but really didn't live up to it last year. I think that is a great move. And I wonder if the Cardinals are really doing this because Kyler Murray forced them to get more options. I wonder if that was a part of it. So the Commanders pick is in. This is likely going to be our last pick of the show because it's already 10 o'clock. Bless you. I want to go smoke too, so.
I mean, I've been doing it right here the whole time.
Yeah, I would too. I don't smoke cigarettes in the house.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that either.
Commanders, the first ever pick of the Washington Commanders. Roger Goodell is at the podium. Number 16th pick. Jahan Dotson, wide receiver from Penn State. So a little bit of a reach, the number 7 receiver on my board, but nonetheless a really good slot option to pair with Terry McLaurin on the edge to give Carson Wentz an option. I think that's a good pick.
I think it is too because, like you said, you don't need a number 1 guy. You just need a slot option guy at this point. Wait, what is this? My friends in my group chat are saying something about A.J. Brown now.
A.J. Brown on the Titans?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. What? No.
If you say he got traded to the Patriots or something, I'm going to flip out.
No, my friends are saying he got traded to Philly. Get out of
Titans
here.
are trading wide receiver A.J. Brown to the Eagles in exchange for Philly's 18th overall pick and another third-round pick.
Wow! No way, dude.
Yeah, Adam Schefter just tweeted it.
We thought, and dude, that's the crazy part. Because I was just reading that their contract situation with A.J. Brown was going good. And apparently it went sour somehow. They decided to ship this boy out.
That is a steal for the
Titans are
Eagles.
screwed. Colts, they have a huge chance to win this division next year.
Oh, they were already gonna. Wow. Yo, you know A.J. Brown from the Titans? Just got traded to the Eagles. The Eagles are going to be good this year, dude. The Eagles have a good offense. I'm just saying that now. Oh, the Chargers pick's already in. Okay, well, we're going to stay for another pick. Zion Johnson, offensive guard, goes at number 17. And the Chargers were obviously going to take an offensive lineman after losing Corey Linsley. And they only have one pick in the first 2 rounds, so good pick. I would have looked at Tyler
Where did
Linderbaum.
Linsley go to?
Linsley's still a free agent.
That's weird, because Linsley, he was so good when he was on Green Bay. And going to the Chargers, that was a great pickup for them a few years ago. So go out and get yourself an O-lineman once again. I commend you for that. You're keeping up the consistency there to keep pocket protection for Justin Herbert. You can't go without it.
So the Titans are on the clock, and it looks like this trade is official. Wow. So the Titans get rid of A.J. Brown. That's crazy. The Titans might go for a wide receiver right now, too.
They could. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking, but
The Titans got rid of Julio Jones already this year.
they're going to be a whole different team next year. This is strange. Tannehill's, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Damn, where is Zion Johnson on my list?
You have him going to Dallas at pick 24.
Oh, okay, yeah. I totally missed him. Thank you.
Yo, an Eagles fan, linebacker AJ Brown. He's so geeked.
I
He's so
bet
hyped
he
right
was
now.
he was complaining.
Let's go!
Yeah.
Yo, Jalen Hurts just throwing the football with AJ Brown like 3 days ago. I didn't know if it was actually true, but here we are on draft night. We didn't get Jamison Williams, but with the 18th pick, we traded away. We ended up getting AJ fucking Brown, baby. Let's go! We got our wide receiver. It's not a rookie. It's even better. We got ourselves somebody who could step right into the position.
We're live on
and
the pod
make an
right now.
instant impact for our team. So I'm this first round is a complete success. I'd give the Eagles an A-, if not a straight A on this first round right here. This is beautiful. I love it. Everything about it.
This is great. This is great news for the NFL, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy as fuck.
Did you tell him that
Pardon my
tag?
French, Jack. It was your podcast, so I'm sorry, bro, but that shit's crazy as fuck, dude.
No, you're good, dude. It is crazy. That's a crazy trade. And what they traded for him, a first and a third, for a
first and a
AJ
third,
Brown's
Bowen.
caliber.
First
And
and
now
third.
they got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
That's fine. I figured we
Jalen
were getting rid of our
Reagor.
first round
That's
pick for
a
that.
really good receiver
It's
core.
fucking AJ Brown, dude.
He's mad good, dude.
Yeah.
He's mad good. Yo, listen, man. I'll be back soon. I'm back for the Pats pick. I'm back for the Pats pick. That's why I come in
Man,
for
the
that,
Titans
bro.
picks already
That
in.
shit's crazy,
The
bro.
Titans picks are already in. I might actually stay till the Patriots pick the way these picks are already coming in.
Dude, like I would, but I literally cannot hear you guys at all, bro. This shit's so quiet on my phone for some reason.
All right.
All right, I'll be back.
Do you think? This guy's nuts.
Oh, man. I was not expecting this. It's 10 o'clock. Listen, this pick's already in, and then we got 2 more picks until the Patriots pick. If this,
We could stick it out.
I think it's gonna be like half an hour. If the Patriots can pick by 10:30, I'll be happy, and I will definitely.
Yeah.
hit that.
But you know, Bill's just going to be like,
He's just gonna draft. Listen, the linebacker that you were talking about, Devin Lloyd. That's a really good pick. I think that really makes sense. I think
It does.
I think we're starting to see some linebackers drop, or some defensive players drop. By the way, because
Yeah.
of these run-on wide receivers we've seen. So there's a lot of good defensive options, and you know Bill wants to draft defense in the first round.
Oh, yeah.
After
Every year.
2 years in a row of drafting offense in the first round, he's gonna want a defensive player.
Yeah.
Or not 2 years in a row, but their last 2 first-round picks, because 2
Yeah.
years ago they didn't have one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, hopefully he goes defense this year, but we'll see. We'll see. He's always got something strange going on.
Why did that stop?
I don't know.
Huh. That's weird. Technical difficulties. Let me pull this back up. Spreadsheet. There we go. Whew. Nice.
There you go.
All right, so let me see if I got this right. So since the top 5 picks were all defense, we've seen 10 of the next 12 picks be offense.
Okay. Oh, crap. 1 second.
Still no quarterbacks. 17 picks in, still no quarterbacks. We got the Titans, who obviously need a receiver now. I think that they take Treylon Burks out of Arkansas. The last really good receiver in the first round. Although Christian Watson is still a good receiver at the back half of the first round. George Pickens is actually still up there too. So there is still some wide receiver options. But whoever goes for defense in this last half of the first round is going to get a great player, because those edge rushers and linebackers, even cornerbacks kind of, are starting to drop. You've seen it's an offensive league, and this year you can tell after the top 5, people are really going for offense. A lot of offensive linemen and wide receivers taken.
All right, I'm just responding to an email that I never responded to for like a week. 2 weeks, actually. Because this guy followed up with me.
No, A.J. Brown traded for the number 18 pick and a 3rd-round pick this year. That's it. We just saw the Saints give up more draft capital to move up 5 picks.
Yeah, and it kind of begs to question what they're really thinking because, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a lot to think about if you're the New Orleans Saints because you're kind of really putting the team on the line at this point because you still got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to worry about in that division. I mean, they're probably hoping that maybe in the next year or two, they'll be the top dogs.
Here we go. The number 18 pick is in. Titans, after trading A.J. Brown for it, select Treylon Burks, wide receiver out of Arkansas. Another big body receiver. And this is a good pick for the Titans. You knew that it was going to be a receiver after trading A.J. Brown away. So Burks, a big receiver, which is not the Titans' usual mold. We saw Julio Jones go there last year and not have a lot of success. But the best wide receiver still on the board, a definite need. Good pick for the Titans.
I mean, I think it's definitely a good pick because when you look at what Treylon Burks is and even what A.J. Brown was on the Titans, a big body target. I mean, the dude coming into the team sits at 6'3", 225 pounds, a little bit shorter, but 11 touchdowns on the season, 1,104 receiving yards on 66 catches. This is a dude who's going to be putting up a lot of offensive production, but it's going to come down to Ryan Tannehill. Can he throw the ball effectively to him? Because Ryan Tannehill has proven at times he's not the go-to guy to really lead the charge. If anything, they need Derrick Henry to run the rock, and they seem perfectly fine doing that as usual.
So the New Orleans Saints are on the clock now with the pick that was originally Philadelphia's pick. And I think it's interesting that after Philly, who had the biggest buzz on the draft this year because they, at the end of the season, had 3 draft picks in the top 20. The only team to have 3 first-rounders. And at the end of the night, they leave, obviously their trade earlier in the week that they got from New Orleans. They got a 3rd-rounder, a 4th-rounder, and a 1st-rounder next year for their number, I think it was 18 pick, their number 19 pick, excuse me, and a 3rd-rounder next year. So a really good haul for that one pick. And they end up getting A.J. Brown for the 3rd-rounder they got from the Saints and their 1st-rounder. And they got a defensive lineman, Jordan Davis. This has been a successful draft for the Eagles after only taking 1 draft pick of their original 3. So really good moves by the front office of the Eagles. I want to say that that's Nick Sirianni, the 2nd-year head coach for the Eagles. So a lot of moves being made. You know, they went out and got their guy last year in Jalen Hurts and made him the starter when a lot of people said they shouldn't. The Eagles looking like they're going to have... Their front office is clearly skilled at manipulating players and draft picks. They've been doing really well with that. But I think the Eagles are going to be really good this year. A.J. Brown just solidifies that.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and then you still got Dallas Goedert on the team. And Jalen Hurts, after a successful season last year, making it to the postseason, they look like they could be able to run the table and potentially compete with the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East. Because the Cowboys, I don't know, man. Last season really told the tale of how they're looking. They lose right away in that 1st round when they are the number 2 seed in the NFC. And you lose Amari Cooper. CeeDee Lamb's still pretty solid. But then you also look at Ezekiel Elliott. a dude that has really fallen from grace after being one of the top 5 running backs in the National Football League, now is really slipping down to top 10, top 15 at this point. This is a different Cowboys team we're looking at. And then you also lose Michael Gallup, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they re-signed Gallup.
Did they? I wonder if they did. They did, probably. I think you're right.
Yep, he's back on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
they
so
re-signed him to a huge deal, though. Like $20 million a year for a number 3 receiver. But I guess they knew that they were getting rid of Amari Cooper, so they had to keep him.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, we'll definitely have to see.
How you doing over there? Patriots pick 3 away. I know that's what you're staying for.
I don't even know.
It's been a kind of a crazy last 10 picks. There's been like 6 trades. A bunch of wide receivers have been going. If you include the A.J. Brown to the Eagles, we've seen 7 wide receivers with new homes in the last hour. Coming up next, we have the New Orleans Saints with their 2nd pick. They traded up to get Chris Olave earlier in the draft, so we're not going to see another wide receiver here. I think we see the edge rusher Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State here. One of the best edge rushers, a guy that really boosted his stock in the combine. The number 13 player on my big board, and we are already at number 19, so he's starting to draft.
What the Saints are going to do here, you see the picture of Archie Manning in the background? You know the Saints haven't taken a quarterback in the first round, not counting the supplemental draft, but the regular draft. Okay. Center. Wow, really? So the Saints on the clock for this pick here at number 19.
Looks like the Saints pick is about to come in. Coming up next, we got the Steelers, and I think the Steelers could be the team that drafts the first quarterback. After signing Mitch Trubisky to a 1-year deal this year, I would not be surprised to see them take a quarterback off the board at number 20. Just saying, I'm going to call my shot.
Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers? Bro, they do. They really need to. Tim and I are actually saying that's the only team really in this first round that needs to get a quarterback, because are you really going to surrender the franchise to Mitchell Trubisky and Mason Rudolph? I don't think so. If I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, you lost Big Ben Roethlisberger, easily one of the greatest Steelers quarterbacks in history besides Terry Bradshaw. So for them, they need to get themselves a quarterback.
All right, here we go. Number 19 pick, New Orleans Saints select Trevor Penning, offensive tackle. So that makes sense because Taron Armstead was the best tackle in free agency this year. Huge loss for the Saints. He goes to Miami. So they get a replacement, Trevor Penning. A little bit of a reach. I had him at the number 32 prospect, I think. So a little bit of a reach, but when you're going for offensive tackle, you want to go and get your guy.
It's a must.
It's a good pick.
It's a must because
offensive line is always going to pay off for you.
Because Taron Armstead, easily an A+ in terms of the left tackle position on any team. That's a dude who is easily top 5 in the NFL in terms of the left tackle position. So for them, that's a huge loss. Miami, huge gain. Like that was something that really pissed me off when they signed him. But for this team, that's something they really needed to address, and I commend them for it. The Saints organization being very smart and saying, hey, we need a guy to protect that blind side for our quarterback because Jameis Winston's going to need that pocket protection this season.
And again, the Saints prioritizing offense. They go wide receiver, and now they go tackle. The Saints, with Drew Brees, obviously one of the best offenses every single year, and they're going to try to repeat that pattern. Another team that I would not be surprised goes after a quarterback in next year's class.
I'll be right back real quick. I'm going to use the bathroom.
Yep. So coming up next, we have the Steelers, like we said, could be the landing spot for the first quarterback taken this year. Patriots 1 pick away. What do you think they go after, Austin? What position would you want the Patriots to go after? I can see them going O-line. Well, the top 2 players that are still on the board are O-line and corner, so you might get your wish.
Yeah, I'm a fucking genius.
Wow, I'm texting a friend who I just found out is a Giants fan.
Terrorist got away with over 200 kilos of C4. He's a two-part effect.
He is targeting all the major freeways.
Easy Nash guest stars. If that doesn't stop, we're gonna have to rent. The rookie two-part event continues Sunday on ABC. Coming up at 5 o'clock, a state police trooper shoots and kills a suspect in Woonsocket. The AG, U.S. Marshals, state and local police updating that investigation today as remembering a former New Bedford school committee member while the search for a suspect states away is underway. We'll have the latest on the Eric Pope death investigation coming up at 5.
I'm Tiffany Murphy. I know how hectic life can be. So it's 11 minutes at 11 o'clock, and we'll give you 11 minutes of non-stop commercial-free news.
All right.
My bad. I'm texting a friend who I just found out is a Giants fan. I'm like, what the fuck? Not a whole lot of you anymore.
Hit that.
The pick is in. It's in a commercial right now, so we got a couple minutes. But the Steelers pick is in after the Saints just drafted an offensive tackle.
Okay.
I thought that the Steelers would go offensive line, and there still is a offensive lineman interior. He's probably going to be a center in the NFL. He's kind of smaller. He's only like 280 pounds. But Tyler Linderbaum fits the mold of a Steelers player. He's a big, tough offensive lineman. I think that would be a really good pick for them if they don't go quarterback, excuse me. But you said it before. The Steelers are probably the biggest quarterback needy team besides like the Texans, or maybe not even the Texans. They have Davis Mills.
Yeah, they should be the only team really in this first round that's circled a quarterback to pick because, like I said, I mean, they've got the defense. The offense is still kind of much to be desired, but they have to circle quarterback right now because this is a team that's absolutely desperate. I mean, hey, maybe they'll say, hey, screw these quarterbacks. We'll just wait till next year. We know we're going to – I mean, it's going to be a tough year. Pittsburgh's probably going to finish dead last this year in the North because –
Oh, I think they will.
Bengals, way better team. Browns, they're going to be significantly better with Deshaun Watson. And then Ravens, no contest. So
I think that the other team to look at for a quarterback this year is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, by the way. I think that's a sneaky team at the end of the first round.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Is in. Roger Goodell is about to walk out to the podium. This is the last pick before the Patriots, and then we're out of here anyway. It looks like Goodell's going to let someone else take the pick.
This season marks the 50th anniversary of
The NFL has been doing so many ads or shout-outs before their picks lately. Like, they used to do, like, 2 or 3 in the first round, and now they're doing, like, 8 or 9.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. It's just something to fill up ad space and all that because advertisements, they find their way into everything.
One of my best friends is an Eagles fan. He's texting me right now saying that this is the best draft that they've had in decades. And I think
Easily.
All right. Franco Harris is making this pick.
That's awesome.
With the number 20 pick. Oh, he's going to... Oh, here we go. Okay. Number 20 pick. Pittsburgh Steelers. No one's cheering with him. Kenny Pickett, quarterback. First quarterback taken goes to Pittsburgh. And I think that's a great pick. Like I said earlier, the only knock people had on this guy was his hand size. He has the smallest hands of any quarterback in the NFL, which is a pretty measurable trait. But the last quarterback we saw that had this was Tua Tagovailoa. They also had a problem with his hand size.
Yeah.
And he's been yet to blossom, but
Yeah.
I think Kenny Pickett's going to a really good system. He can sit for a year.
And best place, he doesn't even have to leave his college hometown from the Pittsburgh Panthers. He's going to Pittsburgh to play for the Steelers. 6 in college, 4,300. Okay, let me start over. 4,319 passing yards, 6th in the league. 4th in passing touchdowns, 42, and only threw 7 interceptions and finished with a QBR rating of 81.2. Very solid for him in his 5th year as a player in college. So for the Steelers, I would be very happy with this pick. And Kenny Pickett's probably going to start right away for this team. It's going to take him some time to develop, especially with the Steelers' offense the way it looks right now. It's not very promising. But, I mean, you still got Najee Harris. Is Juju back, or is he still on free agency?
On the Chiefs,
That's right.
Chase
That's
Claypool,
right.
And you have Deontay Johnson. So you have 2 pretty good young receivers. You have Pat Freiermuth, who's a decent young tight end. Like, they have a really good young core. They're just going to need to start getting a little bit younger on the offensive line, and I love this offense. I really think that this is a great pick, that the Steelers are going to be able to rebuild, and in 2 years, like, not this year, they're going to have a rough year this year, but in 2 years, the Steelers are going to be right back contending for the AFC North title.
Oh, yeah, they need to be. I love Pittsburgh. I've always been a big Steelers guy in general. I've always liked Pittsburgh. So for me to see them go out and get a quarterback the year after their franchise quarterback retires, I commend them for that.
He proved their value, both in throwing the football and giving back to the community.
When I got to Pitt, I really wanted to give back to the community, and I was able to create Pickett's Partners, ended up donating shirts back to the
Pickett's Partners.
some money for them as well, and spending a day with the kids. Throw the football around, play basketball. It was a special moment to meet, a lot of really cool kids. Really enjoyed seeing the smiles on their faces.
Play basketball? What the heck?
During my first AAU basketball team,
Dude should only be playing football.
Patriots are about to pick. You don't want to see who they got? It's literally going to be...
Right now.
Okay, the Patriots actually just traded with the Chiefs. So the Chiefs have the 21st pick now. So the Patriots are out of the first round. Later, bro. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. I'm working tomorrow night, but I'll text you. All right. All right, so the Patriots, after all this time that we were going to be waiting to see them pick, the Patriots have traded out of the first round with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That is the most annoying thing in the world. I can't believe they're doing this. This is so stupid. So stupid. I'm mad. I'm really mad right now. Bill did this a couple years ago with the Chargers. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The best spot for them to get Devin Lloyd, and they blew it.
Well, see what they got in their trade back. Because to be honest with you, we talked about how this was a bad quarterback class. This is a bad draft class in general. Like, this is not a great draft class. Sure, the top half of the draft was really heavy. The edge rushers and Hutchinson and Thibodeau, the corners and Stingley and Gardner. Like, this was a great top 10 draft class. But when you start getting down here, as far as value goes compared to other years, it's not a great draft class. So if the Patriots did get a good return, it's not a terrible look for them. Now, when you look to see what else they have in the draft, they have the 54th pick, and they have the 74th pick.
I'm checking right now to see what Adam Scheffner said about the Patriots.
How do you feel you fit in there? You know they have Mitchell Trubisky, but you've shown that you're ready to work and compete.
Okay, he hasn't said anything yet.
Patriots get... Oh, the Patriots trade back to the 30th pick, so they stay in the first round, but they also get the 94th pick, a late third rounder, and a 121st pick, and a late fourth rounder. So the Patriots trade back 9 spots, and they get a third and a fourth rounder because of it.
I don't know.
trading back this year is not getting as much value as it has been in the past. There's
No.
usually a lot more trade value in the first round. But because this draft class is weaker than normal, players are not getting, or teams are not getting the compensation that they usually would.
Yeah, it's true. So, I mean, I don't know what Bill's planning, and I hope I hope something falls good to them, but I don't know, man. It's difficult to say what they're going to do. But what do you think? You want to wrap this up, or?
Yeah, well, we stayed to the 21st pick, and the Chiefs are kind of big anyway, so this is the last pick because he's walking the podium right now.
Sure.
This is going to be it, though. Number 21 pick, the Chiefs need an edge rusher, so Jermaine Johnson or Andrew Booth Jr. Here we go.
With the 21st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft,
Get it out, Goodell.
the Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie, cornerback out of Washington. So they did go corner. They went defense. A need. But they did skip over two other cornerbacks that I thought would go before McDuffie. So that is the last pick that we will be showing here. Up next is the Green Bay Packers getting their 22nd pick from the Las Vegas Raiders trade. Their first of two picks in the first round. Like we said, New England is now at pick number 30, and they did get a third and fourth round pick for it. So I'll probably tweet out who the Patriots get, and I'm sure it's going to be like an edge rusher or some player that won't even really get playing time this year. But that is all for the second annual Fans Only Sports draft reactions. We tried staying up for the whole time, but this first round is gonna go to midnight, and I'm not doing this after a podcast I already did tonight. So for everybody that tuned in, thank you so much. For everybody watching at home,
you should hear this real quick.
Okay.
So A.J. Brown just got a $100 million extension, $57 million guaranteed.
What is it, like 4 years?
I don't know. They haven't given the
I would assume if it's 3 years, $100 million, that's crazy because I think that makes him the highest paid receiver. But if it's 4 years, that would make sense.
Joins Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams for the top three wide receivers getting paid that much.
Oh, it's a 4-year, $100 million extension per Adam Schefter.
Crazy. Hey, the Titans didn't want to pay it because they want to keep Henry. They like Henry more.
For real.
But all right.
Everybody watching, thank you so much. Make sure you check out fansonlysports.com and our many social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. This is our second annual NFL draft reaction show. I'm going to be releasing a mock draft, a way too early 2023 mock draft on Sunday after the entire draft is over. So check that out. Make sure you check out Chet's podcast, Unapologetic, every Thursday night. I know you switch times a little bit, but are you still doing it at 7 o'clock?
Yep, it's usually around 7 p.m.
So, best NFL podcast around right now. Any MMA lovers, make sure you check out my podcast, MMA Complete Podcast. But that is neither here nor there. NFL Draft 2022 was a success. My mock draft was terrible, but I had a lot of fun doing the show. I hope you did too, Chet. And for the technical difficulties we did have, sorry about that. I hope you got to tune into both shows and just hang out with us for a little bit. I hope Duffy's having a good time with his buddy. I know his buddy's having a good time being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I would too.
I would too. The Eagles, the best team of the first round so far.
That's
going to do it for us. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Check us out every Thursday night for our individual podcasts. And make sure you go to fansonlysports.com for our many sports media content. Like I said, more draft info. And we release articles all the time, including 17 different podcasts right now that we have going on incoherently. But yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you, Chet, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we're out of here.